What is going on, guys? Craig1287 here, bringing you a video that is slightly different than normal. But before we get to that, I hope everybody had a wonderful Merry Christmas and got some great gifts, had some great time to spend with their family, and just overall had a great time. I got this during my Merry Christmas from a family member. This was the gift that I got. And you might be wondering what this is. So this is going to be a little different video than normal. I am going to get to some VR gameplay, but first I want to show you off the actual hardware. I've got a flashlight that is providing additional light because I'm going to be taking a few steps forward. Hopefully my camera, which is just a camera phone, does do the focusing and all that stuff automated. So I do have the light there to, as I step closer, hopefully it'll provide a little bit of extra quality to my not the greatest camera, and I do apologize in case you see the glare from the flashlight there as well. But this right here, I don't exactly know what the name of the official product is, but I will provide a link to this in the video description down below. This is not a sponsored video. I have never met or talked with the guy who made the product. I literally just sent the link to it to family members, and one of them ended up picking this up for me. So I've only gotten to actually use this once. So what you're going to be seeing is the second time I've used this, and I only used it with a game called Overkill VR. I have not used it with Onward yet, a game that a lot of people have requested that they see some footage of this thing in action with. And another one that I heard mentioned a lot was the Nest. I do not own that, but I will pick that up. I'm doing this video really last minute because I'm going to be going on a week. Not really vacation. I'm going to be volunteering my time at a Boy Scout winter camp for a week, so I won't be able to make any VR videos, but I've got some couple others already rendered and whatnot, so I'll be uploading those while I'm out, as well as this video. So when I get back, I plan to delve into this a lot more and also check out the Nest, so keep an eye out for that. So what this actually is, I haven't really gotten to that yet, but what this is it came with this, as well as, let me go and get this part over here. This is another attachment that it did come with. So it came with the main frame here, the stock, a butt stock that you actually put on the end, and you screwed on right there. That was the screw came with it, the holes, all that was pre-done. This is 3D printed. It came with these mounting parts with the bolts and everything, screws and whatnot. Those are metal. Actually, these they are 3D printed. Holy crap, he 3D printed those. But it looks like the screws are metal. This just looks like a type of PVC pipe. The tip here was separate, and I just kind of put that on there, as was the stock. Put that on there, put the butt stock on. These were already on here, but very loose, so I have since tightened them up a little bit, but not all the way. And then this is another mounting part that you can put on here as an option if you want. You would probably have to take the end off of there, but it didn't screw on or anything like that, so it's not permanent. I could easily do that. Neither of these are on here permanently. I haven't done any glue or anything like that because I am still experimenting with this, and I don't know exactly what my dimensions are, and lengths and distances and things like that I do want. So this video, there might be some give, but when you get your full product, I'm sure if you tighten them up a little bit more than I have in this video, it'll be a little bit better. And so this right here is just a Picatinny rail mount that if you want to put on here, oh man, I should have grabbed it, but I have like an old airsoft gun that I had that actually had a Picatinny mount for the a grip that went onto the Picatinny rail. So if you want to do something like that, you could also put it on the front and put a bipod on there, and you might be thinking that's a pretty goofy thing, but for something like Onward, where you actually will be going prone in your physical room and laying down, that actually might be a nice option, so that you are magnets are strong, so that you might want to actually be able to have it on the ground. So let me actually hold it up to myself, and this is what the main purpose of this device is. It's an actual stock that you can rest into your shoulder to improve your aiming, especially for using things like scoped weapons in VR, because your distance away from the scope in a lot of games is very specific. If it actually might function like a true scope would in real life, and in which the lenses, because of how they're done, you have to actually be a certain distance away. So you may want, I think they do make some that are adjustable in the distance, but if there's a little bit of adjusting that you want in terms of your eyes distance from the scopes in the game. You could probably adjust the actual grip of this and bring this closer or further away, and you can also adjust this one to be closer or further away, and that would actually affect the distance of the gun from your body. So you can do that. And finally, it came with, I currently have them mounted inside of the Vive controllers, but it goes into the donut part. This part right here unscrews, and there's a part that you just put this main chunk into the top of the Vive controller. You put this into the bottom, you screw it in there, and that keeps it inside of the Vive controller. And it has a magnet there, and then you've got the other opposite attraction of the magnets on the actual frame of the device. So you get two of them for your two Vive controllers. Some people might be concerned about the weight. It's not that much of an increase. There is definitely a noticeable amount of increase. When I move my hands like this, I can feel the weight kind of tipping and whatnot. But I mean, in terms of, I don't know if you guys want to hold your own Vive controller out in front of you and just see where the center balance is. It might normally have been more like this, or I don't really know. I probably should have at some point tested this and had one in and one out, and I could have put it on my scale and weighed it. When I do a second video about this, I will definitely do that kind of stuff. I will undo these and I'll get you the weight difference in them. I also recently came into a device for measuring luggage and the weight of luggage, so you don't get you don't make your luggage too heavy and get charged double when going to an airport. I can use that, and I can attach it to this and get a feel for the actual amount of physical pressure or force that is necessary to remove these from these magnets. These are some solid magnets. So let's go ahead and I'll just in here there is a lifted part. I have no clue if that's coming through, but there's lifted two parts, and it actually fits into these two parts. That might be a good thing for some people. Personally, that is my biggest issue that is with this, and I'll get to that at some point, but luckily this can easily be filed down and I don't have to worry about that. The thing is with it, I don't know how tight I can make this, and there are times when these might actually already be a little out of sync. Yeah, there you go. You can see it gets a little twisted. So again, that can be fixed by tightening this, but I don't want to tighten it so much that I'm putting strain and I might crack the frame. See there, I twisted it a little bit. I don't know if that came through, but oh, there we go. I twisted it a bit more. Now I'm putting a good bit of force onto that. I mean, it's not the easiest thing, but so that can get twisted. So if you make it tighter, which I might try at one point, then that might not be a problem. But really, there's no reason why it's bad that they ever get twisted. So that's why I might just file these down, because there's not a real reason why these need to stay in the specific orientation that they are. So I might just file these down at some point. So that's your own discretion. So let's get these actually onto frame, and ooh, I already felt so I'll let you guys just hear it, and I'll let you see how I'm gonna just kind of bring it up to it. And there you go, and it actually went directly into those two holes. So there you go. You can see how aligned it is. You can see it's a little, from my perspective, a little clockwise off, but again, that can easily just be adjusted. That's actually really easy now that it's in there, rather than when I was doing it with my fingers. So now I'll do this one as well. I'm just going to let it, so it gets right up in there, and you can see there is no split. Well, you can kind of see, but as somebody who has used it and had them get back in there when they're not aligned, there is actually, you can tell there's no divide. So I'm now holding this. I will twist it. I can turn. I've actually not done any of this kind of testing with it yet, so it's a little scary, but I am turning pretty quick. But normally you are going to be holding these, and I've got a good amount of clearance between my hand and this part. If need be, I could slide it forward, but so far I've got good clearance, and my thumb does not rub against it. So this is how it'll be used when in games. This acts as if like your hand on the gun. Now, not every game, based on how they do the program, some games, like in raw data, I think they actually want you to hold the bottom of the shotgun if you're playing as the boss character. You hold it like this rather than like this. But it's pretty decent for most games that I've tried so far. Oh, for Overkill VR, the one game that I have tried. So you can see there is some turn in them, and so every now and then if I turn it like this and then remove it, the orientation of those are off. So if I try to put it back, see there, now you can actually see the split. With the light you might be able to see my hand moving behind it if the resolution is even high enough. So there is, and that can get a little annoying for me personally. There we go, now they're back. And this actually probably should be tightened, because that one seems pretty dang loose right now. That might have been just from me messing with it, but so it's on there pretty tight now. Alright, so this is how you'll use the firearm, and again you can have that Picatinny attachment that you can also put if you want to scoot this forward, and then have the rail here if your grip wants to be here but the game needs your controller to be here. So it's nice that they do give that option. If some games have weird models and it's a different distance but you still want to be able to grip it there, but for right now, everything I've done, this works pretty well. The other thing you're going to notice is that sometimes my HMD does kind of hit right here, so we'll see if that becomes a problem. But final note, this lanyard, the mounting for it did come with it, including this metal piece right here, this small metal piece. This all came with it, but from here to the rest of this lanyard, that is mine. That did not come with this, so keep that in mind. You might need your own lanyard if you want to have that option. So I'm going to take my headset off real quick. Now I'll probably just edit around this. We're going to jump into a game. We'll jump into Onward, since that's the one most people are familiar with, rather than Overkill VR. It's a much more well-known game. Rather than getting into multiplayer, because I don't have the time to do all that, but I'm going to jump into the firing range and just give that a whirl and see how if my grip distance, because this is what I needed it to be for Overkill VR. We'll see if this is what we need it to be for Onward, and you guys can see it in action. I'll do some changing of the grip, or like removing it to grab for like ammo, and reloading for the ammo, going with a pistol. I'll probably try doing this one with the pistol. I've noticed it's easier for me to remove this one than it is this one, not because of differences in the magnets, but just because I feel like I can hold this and really release this one rather than this one. This is what's supporting it for the downward motion, and it kind of just wants to slide off of my shoulder. So this, maybe one day I'll add some rubber or something right here that lifts up. A lot of firearms that have stocks actually have a part where you can lift this up so that it can rest on your shoulder, so that way when I pull it down, I'm not just doing that, and I actually can pull it down. So that's, again, could just be a personal thing with me, and it might not have anything to do with you. So I'm going to cut over to some Onward training range, firing range action right now. Alrighty, now we are in Onward. One thing I do suggest you guys also check out doing is getting one of these kind of little clips. And that way you can take these kind of strings, if you've got additional something like your audio headset cord, you can just take it and clip it to your shirt, your very lovely Mr. Meeseeks shirt that you're wearing, which you got for Christmas. Thank you. So, alright, there we go. Turn my controllers on. Oh, I guess another concern people may have is, does this device do any blocking of your sensors? I guess we'll just let you take a look. Now, some games, I guess if you want, you can take this off to do the pointing, but I find it pretty easy to just do the pointing with the device like this. One thing, you cannot see this device when you've got your headset on. So, finding the magnets and whatnot, that's just something that you've got to develop at some point. Your muscle memory, air quotes, there isn't actually memory for muscle, but you're just going to have to get that developed. it's going to happen. It's going to take time, but it'll eventually happen, I would imagine, like with anything that you do, repetitive motions. That's why you train with firearms, is you get those muscle memory patterns down with like reloading and all that kind of stuff. So, are you using a room scale or front facing? I am doing room scale. Setting, is there a way I can do my sound? Well, let's do normal in case I had realistic, because I want to be able to actually hear myself. Let's turn music off. Hand, I am right-handed. Holster, let's see how to do holster. Let's do hip. Steady, would you prefer to use proximity? Alright, let's go with proximity. I'm going to do proximity to test this out. So that's what I was specifically looking for. Alright, back. And then, can't remember how to do the range. I think you, okay, yeah, shooting range. Solo. Alright. So as you guys can see, it's already like got there. Yeah, it's just kind of like floating, so I don't know, it's kind of interesting. Alright, let's see, here we go, jumping in. Let's go with, alright, so we gotta break that off. Let's do MARSOC. And see, this is, I really like having the lanyard here for when you're doing this kind of stuff, because it'd be really weird if this was just pulling on it. Highly encourage you guys get a lanyard. Specialist, loadout 1. Holy crap, I don't want a ballistic shield. Okay, I can get a, well, even if it doesn't have a foregrip on there, I can still grip. Let's go with, do I have a, alright, I actually want to get a weapon class that has a slightly more magnified scope, something like, let's see, does Rifleman have? Okay, there we go, yeah, 4 times. I wanted something like with an ACOG. So let's go with, one of my favorite guns. Foregrip, alright. Let's just go with tracers. Nothing else really. G17, yeah, and we'll try grenade as well, so you guys can see that. Alright, confirm, loadout, and start mission. Alright, so again, I can't see this unless I look through the little hole here. So that's just something that I am. But you guys can see I can actually use this to lift up, and it doesn't unmagnetize. So, alright, so let's take it. I gotta remember the controls. It's been a long time since I have played this game. So, let's bring that on there. And then, alright, so it's alright, so let's bring it to there. And it looks like it has gripped. Alright, awesome. And I see there, I just, bumped my headset a little bit. Maybe if I lift it up. Alright, there we go. It's not really getting in the way. Alright, man, there's like a little bit of lag. I don't think I ever noticed this before. There's a little bit of lag in the animation of the gun. That actually could get annoying. Let's see, can I use both touchpads? Alright, you have to use left trackpad. And then you can do that to, so I can, let's see, can I go ahead and start shooting? Alright, there we go. Alright, I'll get some movement going. And does the distance? Yeah, seeing this, the distance your scope is from your eyes actually does impact the how the scope is done. So, full auto. Alright, so now we got to do our reloading. Pull the hand off. I think you push down on that. Yeah. Is it trigger or grip? No, it's trigger. Put that in there. Do I have to pull the bolt? Do I just push up? Pull up. There we go. Put it in there. Alright. Alright, let's do some movement. Alright, let's go with a further off target. And how do I change to single? There we go. Alright, let's do some single. Alright. Oh, wow, already empty. Probably should have picked a gun with a trigger, yeah. Probably should have picked a gun with more. Whoa. I don't know if that's a tracking issue. That could have been an issue with this maybe blocking some of the sensors. I do not know. Again, let's do some more moving and shooting. Let's go crouch. Shoot another far off target. All right, let's do something where we're like taking cover. Hopefully, I'm still in frame. All right, so let's see. Let's shoot at. Oh, it's kind of flickering. All right. Taking cover. Alright, getting a little better with it. I'm already getting some muscle. Alright, let's go to... Is that safety? Or okay, so there is no safety in this. I don't know if it did. Safety. Oh, and I'm already out of mags. Alright, so let's do where we have to put that down. See, right now, getting it off. If I just had something right here to stop it, getting it off of that is a little awkward. I just got to spin it back around. How do I think I bring it back to my chest. And then there we go. And I can go around with my pistol. Alright, let's see, pistol. But there we go. Let's see if I can get it magnet. Oh, there we go. That was actually really cool, guys. I could not see it. I did that completely just off of where I thought it would be. It's so weird pulling it off of this and then lifting my hand up and still seeing the gun in my hand. That just plays with my brain so much. That's the second time, and I just thought I would mention that. But so let's see. Oh no, that. Doing that. Putting a. Alright. And putting that there. See, right now I'm just doing a little bit of struggling to find. So I'm looking through my nose piece. And oh, look at that, guys. I am noticing that. Let's see, where's my camera? Right there. Notice how my hands are... I've twisted a bit. And again, let me emphasize that I haven't had these as tight as they possibly could be. I do have them a little loose because I am doing like adjustments and whatnot. But that, I mean, I easily was able to get it back. So maybe one day somebody will come out with one that's one solid piece. I don't know if you want that though. Maybe you do want it to be able to have some give to it. So yeah, this is purely just to show you guys off. I don't really have solid opinions on much just yet. And you could be taking more shots. That little bit of lag. I almost wish there was... I don't know if that's a gameplay design decision or if that's maybe something to prevent motion sickness, or maybe that's something to do with sensor technology. I do not know what that is, but I can tell you I don't think I ever noticed that as much. Let's do it. Let's do it without... okay. Yeah, I can still see it, but I'm definitely noticing my hands are a lot more shaky. I mean, I'm able to get it on target, but right now I'm standing still. And you're doing this kind of stuff, and you're moving around. When you start taking your hands down, when you're grabbing ammo, putting it in there and whatnot. See, I'm having to refine my good distance away from my scope for my eyes to properly look through the two lenses here. So there's definitely some gains to using these in terms of having your hands be able to actually have something to hold them in place. It makes it less shaky, and also to have it actually have something against your shoulder really helps with your consistency and your eye distance from the scope, but also it just gives you something to have support on. So yeah, so far I highly... I wanted to grab the... I wanted to grab the grenade. I don't know how to grab the grenade. Oh, trigger. Okay. And then I throw a grenade. And I get that back. Whoa. Alright. The magnets are definitely strong enough that even if you don't get it exactly in the right place, the magnetism of it, you feel that pull, and that helps you to guide it. So that's one good thing. These are some very, very, very powerful, I would imagine, neodymium magnets. So this thing, so far, from what I can tell, from what I've used with it so far, my very limited amount of time with it, it's worth it. It's not cheap. Again, I'll have the link in the description to the eBay page. But this guy is making these by himself, I would imagine, making them at a very low amount, so you can't automate any of this. It's not something that you can just produce in bulk from a factory. He's probably making them one by one as they kind of come, with a few in reserve. So they're not cheap, and shipping is also going to be pretty expensive, I would imagine. I didn't pay for this, so I don't know what the shipping was, but I can imagine if this guy's shipping them himself that the shipping cost would be expensive. But the build quality, it doesn't feel like it's going to break. Eventually when I do tighten these, you know, that's going to really help. And then just over time, muscle memory is going to really help. I said that I would do Overkill VR, but I think this has given you guys enough of a idea of what this thing is like so far. Muscle memory is definitely going to help at some point when it gets to returning these back to the device, especially when it's back at my side and not directly in front of me, to where I'm only putting the one hand back onto it. And also the muscle memory in terms of just bringing it up to my shoulder and not having the this part right here hitting this. But honestly, I mean, it's both of these things are very durable. That's not going to be a problem. That's really only a problem for me if I'm making like YouTube videos. You hear that sound. Maybe the guys in your game might hear that sound, but that's very minor. That's nothing that's going to cause any damage. It might scuff it up, dent it, scratch it, but it's not going to be anything that's going to damage these sensors or any of the interior hardware. It's nothing, you know, serious in that regard. But so far, very impressed with this. I'm so glad that I got it. This is going to make me much happier when playing Onward, because what's been a real bothersome thing is just how shaky things can get when you get intense. Let's try real quick going, I did some crouch stuff, but let's try going prone. I don't know if I am going to be in frame, but we will try going prone. Oh, let me grab my actual gun. So now I can actually do and that's kind of nice. I can steady my gun while getting down and trying not to get caught up in my cords. Oh, I think I'm actually right near my couch. I forgot I took a few steps forward. So this is me going prone and then doing some movement while prone. So yeah, definitely this. Oh my gosh, I am so much steadier using this. And I almost, yeah, I'm definitely steadier. I was going to see if I could just use my left hand to move it down to the ground to help steady myself more, almost like a bipod, but then that would take it too far away that my thumb wouldn't be able to touch. Yeah, my thumb wouldn't be able to touch the trackpad. But if I'm just holding steady, then yeah, I can hold my hand, back of my hand is on the ground, and I've got a few fingers holding the very base of the Vive controller, so it is kind of acting like a bipod. Though I currently do not have it against my shoulder. Now I do, but it's I'm feeling it hit that part of the headset. So yeah, that's pretty interesting. But the fact that it does work, I'm noticing it get steady and then standing back up. I can actually use my hand to push down on the ground and help myself get up. Of course, we need wireless VR, but I can use my hand to actually stand myself up and not have to worry about it coming undone. I'm not crushing my Vive controller on the ground when trying to push myself up. I can just leave it right there and return. So if you guys are wanting this thing for Onward, I'm now tugging on like all sorts of strings and stuff. I got all sorts of stuff for tugging, but this thing, if you are a Onward fanatic, check this out, because this thing is quite an amazing thing. They do have other models of this. They have some where it's just this part back, so your left hand, your secondary hand, wouldn't actually attach to anything if you want it for that. If you just want it for the actual stock part, they have some where this part is, I think, adjustable, and they are all at different kind of varying prices. But I'll link to this specific one, and you can find other things sold by this guy to find those other ones. So yeah, hopefully this video didn't end up too long, because I need to render it really quick so I can have it done in the morning and uploaded for you guys. But hope you guys have enjoyed this look at whatever the heck this thing is called, and enjoyed this look at it being used in Onward. If you have any questions, comments, things that you want me to specifically try this out with, like the Nest, Onward VR, Onward or Overkill VR, questions, concerns about anything, ask them. I will do my best to let you know. I'm not going to like smack this thing like a rock star smacking a guitar at the end of a concert. I'm not going to do that to test its durability, but anything within reason, I will do what I can when I get back from my trip to test these things out and put them to the test, and hopefully get them on video. If not, just tell you, but hopefully get them on video so you guys can see this, because this is not cheap for something that you have already spent a lot of money on. So I want you guys to be as informed as you can when coming to making these additional purchases. So hope you guys have enjoyed all of this. Have a good one. Ta-ta.